You're so long. Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. I bring you another recipe in my series of Asian inspired recipes. This one is absolute bomb. It is a delicious Vietnamese style crispy chicken wings. The list of ingredients will be in the description below. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is prep our chicken wings. So I have them all here, and all I want to do is basically cut them into usually thirds, but the tips have already been cut off here. But all you want to do is get your knife, find the joint, and cut down through it. If you find the right spot, it literally cuts like butter with a sharp knife. So now we've got our little flats and our drumsticks. My butcher took off my wingtips on me, but if you had them, you can totally still use them. They're so flavorful. Let's do one more. Find the joint right there and cut straight through just like that. So simple. So I'm gonna do it with all of my wings, and then we'll start preparing the marinade. So I just got some onion here. I only need about a quarter of it. I'm just gonna peel that and dice it kind of finely. And I'm gonna put that straight into my bowl. Next I'm gonna peel and crush some garlic. Simple so far, right? Okay, and next we can go in with the rest of our ingredients. I've got some caster sugar, which is going to give us delicious sweetness. I have some Chinese five spice, which is actually the main flavor in this recipe. I have some fish sauce, and I also have some black pepper. I'm going to give that all a quick whisk. If you wanted to add a bit of heat here, you could put in maybe some chili flakes or chili powder, but I think it's good as is. Okay, and next just put in your chicken wings into your marinade. I'm gonna mix this through with my hands because I want to make sure that everything gets well coated. But it's sorry, I actually don't remember where I learned this recipe. I think I found it online probably like 8-9 years ago. I tried to find it back because I've used this so many times and it's so delicious, but I wasn't able to find the recipe. But luckily, back then I took a screenshot of the ingredient list on my phone, and this is why I'm bringing you this delicious recipe. Now that everything's well mixed in, I'm gonna cover it with some cling film and put it in the fridge and let it marinate for about half an hour. I want all that flavor to infuse through my chicken wings. All right, since I have a bit of downtime, I'm gonna prep all of my other ingredients. I'm just gonna take my carrots and I want to julienne them. So I'm taking the ends off. I'm just gonna cut them in half and half again, and then just cut really thin strips, and then take those individual strips and cut them down again. So you get something like this, nice and thin. Is gonna be for a delicious garnish on our noodles. Okay, after doing my carrots, I'm just gonna chop up my coriander as well, just roughly. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just gonna take them both, put them to the side into a bowl, and I'll move on to my garlic and chili. These I actually just want to slice. You can choose how much garlic you put into it, depending on how garlicky you want it or not. The original recipe says 1 clove, I'm doing 4. And same with the chili, I just have 1 here, but if you want to up the heat, you could add more. And just slice that finely also. Done, I'm gonna put it into my little pot where we're gonna make our chili oil. Let me get everything set. I'll wash my hands, make sure you don't touch your face after handling the chili, and then we'll start with the chili oil. All I want to do for my oil is put my hob on a very low heat and just add in your oil and just give them a little bit of a mix and literally let that cook down until your garlic starts to get a bit of color, but don't let it go any further. All we want is that garlicky and chili flavor to infuse through the oil. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. You can start to see that my garlic is getting nice and toasty, so I'm not gonna let it go any further. All that flavor is not going through the oil, so turn that off. Just gonna transfer it to a little bowl and just let it cool there until we're ready to use it. Okay, my wings are done marinating, so let's get to prepping them and frying them. First, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and take the ones that are around the same size so that they cook evenly. So I'm gonna take some of my drumsticks, for example, and I'm just gonna pat them dry a little bit. I don't want them to be overly wet, because then when they go in the oil, they're gonna splash everywhere. All that marinade has soaked into the chicken now as well, so there's still a ton of flavor there, don't you worry. This is gonna be my first batch. And now I'm just gonna give them my hands. It's gonna get messy anyway, so I'm going to dip them in the flour and coat them, get rid of any excess. It's time to get this all done by waiting for the oil to come to heat. When it comes to frying, you kind of want to make sure you have everything ready to go. Obviously the flour is going to help us to get those wings nice and crispy. I'm starting with my bigger wings first because they will take longer to cook. They'll be in the oil for longer So while the oil is clean, they will cook better and it will prevent anything from burning. When I go in with my second batch, which is the smaller ones, it doesn't matter if there's a bit of debris in there because they won't be in the oil for that long. Okay, my oil is come to temperature. One way you can test is by throwing a teeny pinch of flour, and you will see how it bubbles away. We're gonna be frying these twice just to make sure we get that super crispy outside on our wings. Probably about 4 to 6 minutes on the first batch, and then take them out and then go back for about another 4 minutes or so. Let's do it. When you put them in, always put them kind of away from you in case the oil wants to splash. Once they go in, give them a bit of a mix just so they don't stick together or to the bottom. Just keep them moving basically. And then set our timer for 4 minutes. In the meantime, I can start flouring the other ones, but do keep an eye on them. You don't want them to burn. Okay, it's been 4 minutes and you can see they're still a little bit pale, so I'm gonna leave them a little bit longer. But remember, we're going in a second time, so you will get that color regardless. Okay, they're looking more like the color that I want, so I'm gonna take them out. Just put them into some paper towel to get rid of some of the excess oil. Again, not overly important at this point because we're gonna go in for a second fry. But already they look nice and crunchy and they smell gorgeous. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with my second batch now. Again, just shake off any of the excess flour. That's only gonna burn in your oil. And add them in, away from you. I'm gonna let this go for about 4 minutes and then we come back when we're ready to do our second fry. It's been 5 minutes, I just wanna give them a little bit longer. They don't look as brown as I want them yet. I do notice the bits that are getting contact with the bottom of the pan get brown quicker, so just keep flipping your wings around. Make sure you're getting an even color. Okay, this is what they're looking at, so I'm just gonna take them off now. I'm gonna keep my oil hot, just keep it on a low heat while I get everything else set up, because we're gonna move on to the next step and there's gonna be a lot going on at the same time, so we wanna make sure that we're ready. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on. My oil is still heating up and I'm about to go in with my second fry on my chicken wings. I'm gonna do it in 2 batches. I'm only gonna put my noodles on after my first batch is finished. Then the noodles are gonna cook for about 8 minutes. That should give me enough time to fry my second batch. And once the noodles are al dente, I'm gonna take them out of the boiling water, soak them in some ice cold water. This will wash off a lot of the starch and prevent it from getting gummy and sticky. And then I can put them back to the hot water to remain warm. And anything that comes out of hot oil loves a bit of flaky salt on top, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some on top. Okay, we're all set up. I've drained my noodles. I just had to season them a little bit, so I'm just gonna put them into a bowl and I'm gonna go in with our carrots and coriander from before. And I'm just gonna go in with our chili oil, just a little drizzle. And if you want, make sure you get some of the crispy garlic as well that's in there, and the chili itself. And give this a bit of a toss. Oh, that garlic oil smells so good. And the coriander is so fresh. Okay, and with that, I'm gonna try to plate up. These are quite long, you probably cut them a bit if you wanted to, but let's see how I manage. Make sure you get some carrots for a bit of crunch. You can top it up with your chicken wings. And for the final bit, have here some sliced chili, which I'm gonna just put a little bit on top. And I have some delicious Kecap Manis or sweet soy sauce, which I'm gonna drizzle over the top. And that is your Vietnamese style crispy chicken wings. There's my beautiful dish. I cannot wait to eat. Oh my God. Let's give it a try. It is so full of flavor. The chicken is so crispy. And that little bit of extra sweetness from the sweet soy sauce just brings it to the next level. These are so good. You need to give this a try. They are amazing. I'm also gonna try my noodles. The perfect little side for delicious crispy chicken wings. This is hands down one of my favorite ever Asian dishes. I do not get to have this enough. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Even though I don't quite remember the origins of this recipe, it is one of my absolute favorites. I am so glad I was able to find the ingredients back. It is absolutely delicious. The chicken wings are crispy AF and the noodles really help to complement that. Topped with the chili oil and the Kecap Manis, everything together is just divine. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming Asian inspired recipes. Give me a like, leave me a comment below, and if you try any of my recipes and want to post them on social media, make sure you tag me. I leave my Instagram handle down below. With that, I'll leave you for this video, and enjoy. They're so long, but they're so incredibly tasty. They're nice and oily, and there's so much garlic and chili flavor from the oil that we made. They are unreal, and you get so much fresh. and you get